Okay, what do we got?
Okay, so see, we got this up here. It's not really gonna stay. It's not gonna go under there yet because we don't have any of our springs installed. There's new ones, so we'll put those out of the danger zone. So now that we just refreshed our paper towel, of course. That's got a little bit of moisture in it.
Yeah, make sure you wet brake fluid on your clothes. That's perfect.
Be the good.
Bring out the good.
Oh yeah. I'm just so good at doing brake jobs.
Yep.
So we can leave this installed, but we gotta take our bolts back out. We'll bring this back to the danger zone. It's so dangerous already. So now that we gotta, this is kind of how that sits. It's like right there. Just gotta just
Fisher through.
so you can just so before we do that, we want to see if we can get one of our bolts started.
So let's pause on the bolts and let's do the. And we found both bolts. There we go.
Like two milliseconds later.
Okay, here we go.
As you can tell by the sun.
That's right, the sun.
Yep, the sun. So all I gotta do is just kind of just. You just gotta just do it. Just gotta put it in.
No fear.
No fear.
Did Mama raise a punk?
Nope, Mama didn't raise no punk.
Thank you, Puddin'. So we tested all the bolts, make sure they go in clean. Clean the threads a little bit, just so it goes easy. Throw on the ground a few times, just for fun.
It just adds to the effect.
Sometimes there's some auto ejection going on.
Just the drama, of course. You gotta,
We don't want to lose the shop, Kendrick. We
no, we don't want to lose the shop.
You got it both finger tight.
They're hard to spin in, so I'll just.
So you want to get them in started by hand,
Yep,
right?
I got them all started in by hand already.
All right.
I can.
The best advice for rusty Minnesota threads: start everything by hand. Use wrenches smaller than you need, so you're not going to worry about any bad things happening.
Torque the factory spec. I'll just 1/4 of one Ugga We might have to go back and do about.
At 23 degrees.
Yeah, I've got to do another
1/4 of
20
a Ugga at 23 degrees.
Celsius.
Okay. Just snug is all we need. Click, click.
And we'll just. Okay, those are both tight. As you see, now gotta get this piece back in here. As you see, what sometimes happen on these is when you're pulling all this apart to get this in here, you can like wedge this down in here. Of course, then you wedge it down in there.
So you want to get them in the grooves where they sit.
Kind of get it back in there. And now you see, now we're both.
Let's snug the brake lines now.
Now we're on here, like Grandpa just said. We will snag the brake lines.
Next we get to the brake lines.
Oh.
On to springs.
So yeah, that's the fun part. So you got this, all the tools you use to take them off. That's what you're gonna use to put them all back on. So, of course, like I said before, just drop them a few times. So, this one, which goes above, this one goes up here. This one, because on this side, 2 holes. There's like a top triangular shaped one. It's like a bottom. It's like a elongated trapezoid rectangle thingy.
Geometry.
Yep. So the little one, which goes, like I said before, it just kind of kicks in like that. So this one, yeah, you just kick it into the top, into the bottom hole. But getting it into the bottom hole is the fun part. See, we got to get from here to here. So, it takes lots of prying and lots of screwdriverage. Get it in. So before we just kind of happened. We just kind of got it. We kind of just got it by just.
You want to put your gloves back on first?
We
had enough wounds.
Yep, Dad got viciously attacked by a clamp.
Just one.
Vicious. We're just kind of just grab our random Torx bit, which
helps on the other side.
maybe this side too. Don't lose your springs inside. That'll make fun noises. So these can help maybe sometimes. You can, just like on some of these bottom ones, you can hook it in here, then you can get it to slide down. So we'll see if we can kind of get that on this one. Just extreme focus.
Going down.
This is a fun one. These ones are good and hard to do. It'd be nice if they could just like use some like bolts or something instead of like some instead of a bunch of springs. But you know, some stuff has to be like adjustable or something.
Kind of float a little bit. So we're gonna fight on this off camera a little bit. We'll be back. One spring down on the top, one more to go.
We can kind of move that down a little bit, which I just did, just a little bit. This is the fun one to get.
You got it.
So you got to remember which hole it goes in. Just go in the round, or does it go in the? I assume it probably goes in the round one. No, it has to go in the flat one. Yeah, it has to go in the flat one, people.
Indecision.
Okay, because you gotta
Grab the spring, put it over, and snap her in.
gotta grab one less link.
Yeah, just one coil, one or two coils.
2 coils seems like the
Big fly. Keep going.
viciously.
I'll let you know if it lands on your head. I can spray brake cleaner on it. Yep.
This thing's a finger cruncher, by the way. So we're just gonna we're gonna put one glove on.
One glove.
Just the one. We gotta just give her the squeeze. Okay. So now that you kind of got started, now the fun part is we're gonna start the video quick, and Dad's gonna push that baby in.
So, all I had to do was think about helping that spring get in, and it fixed itself. Here's our last bottom spring going in.
So this guy is the one that you can just
Almost.
pull.
You have to convince it to do the right thing.
Almost be nice to have a little bit smaller OD of a screwdriver. A little bit smaller outside diameter, because it's a little bit big right now, and that's kind of keeping. This barely doesn't have enough room for it to just slip in there. It just wants to go to the home, so it's just gotta go to your home. And trick is if you can hold it in there and get your one screwdriver out.
Right there.
Gotta make sure you fold backwards.
That's it. Almost.
All I gotta do is just get a little.
One right behind you.
See?
Yep.
Gotta grab this one with the little cut in the middle, so it just grabs right on it,
Pushes it right in.
and then screwdrivers are not. You don't pound on them, okay, people?
And we're set.
See? There you go. That's the simple assembly. Simple in quotes, I should say.
So, do we have any extra pieces? You can get one extra piece and still win the prize.
I think we're pretty good. So of course, what you do, so you take everything apart, which is the easy part, because you can just rip everything apart. Highly recommend at least getting, if you're just replacing the wheel cylinder, make sure you at least get a hardware kit, because what a lot of people do, even some professionals like us, we're for
Full service shop.
full service shop. All they do is they just cut the springs. They don't bother about. They'll take off this one because it's like an easy one to get off, but then they'll just cut these things. Or another way to do this is to grab onto these with just side cutters. So don't cut them, but you can get a really good bite into them, so you can easily pull them all the places.
Try them around.
Or just torquing it really far down with a good old needle nose vice grip works too. So of course, now that we got new wheel cylinder in, we didn't break the brake line surprisingly.
Surprisingly.
We successfully got the adjuster in the correct orientation. So all I gotta do is, which I'll do in a sec, and Dad will show you, is I'll pull the parking brake with very clean hands, and then this should move around a little bit, and you'll see this the gold arm, this little arm right here. This arm will come out. You can see it's prioritized over this piece.
So you just want to do it once to make sure it works the right way. If you do it more than once, it'll actually adjust the rear brake shoes out. So we'll do that after we get the drum on, but we're going to test it once to make sure it works.
Cable's not rusty.
Nope, amazingly enough. There it goes.
So now we'll go through.
Just a tiny bit, don't spill all over the place.
Oh, we got to clean the shoes, right?
Right, just a little
Or
bit.
yep.
So now we're gonna go through and clean everything, and all I gotta do is just a little bit. Yeah, so you gotta make sure you don't get any of that lubricant onto the pads or anything. But we just spray. And then you take your very clean rag, so wipe that off. You also want to make sure before you put the drum on that you just cleaned, that will clean in a sec. You want to make sure you go through and get in back here, because on these you got that big lip back there, and it'll, some of the brake cleaner will get stuck back in there, and it'll go through and just get inside there, and it'll all the junk and stuff that you just cleaned off will just flow down into here. It's go right in there that you just spent forever cleaning, and then you'll get stuff in your brake shoes, and there you go. Then you're gonna be taking this apart in a sec. So now you get this thing. So no matter what, you always want to clean it, even if it says you don't have to clean it. Still clean it. You never know. So you take your paper towel, take your brake fluid, not brake fluid, brake cleaner,
Put the cardboard box on your legs.
and then all we do is then you just go through and just.
So we'll finish cleaning that quick. Make sure you have an abundance of paper towels.
Go around like 2 or 3 times. Take a paper towel, you definitely didn't sit down in there or anything. Well, it was more on the ground, but. And you just go through and you just see all that stuff. You don't want any of that.
They're usually coated with oil in storage so they don't rot. So you want to clean it all up good.
Also want to make sure you can get your surfaces pretty clean. We'll go through and clean that a bit. And then we're going to put any anti-seize on the other side because probably won't put any on here. Because hopefully we'll never have to touch these again.
So we got some lubage on there. We might put a little bit just to be sure.
And then we'll just put this on, and then we'll pull the parking brake a few more times after that, and I'll show you the end result. So now that we got this pad adjusted a little bit, so now this is all cleaned out. We still got a few fibers and stuff in there. Nice thing about using paper towels is not like any of the emery cloth or any like actual cloth. It's all those will just kind of, all the cloths and stuff will get tangled and stuff, but all this will just kind of like shred and like decompose and stuff, and like, whatever you want to say. So now that we only pulled this once, we should be able to just kind of sort of.
So sometimes it's a little bit of a fight getting the pads perfectly straight so you can get the rotor on. Get the,
I kind of just
drum,
kind
I should say.
just lots of just a little bit of wiggling, and then if that doesn't work, you kind of gotta probably pad a little bit, that one a little bit, kind of little stuff, maybe wiggle the bottom a little bit. Usually it's the top that you can get the most movement in because it just goes.
So we'll try this for a little bit and then we'll come back in a sec.
So now, as you can see, we got our great Chinese rotor.
Drum.
Same thing. Same thing.
Yep.
We're tired. So now we gotta go through and bleed the brakes for like the next 3 hours. Maybe not that long.